Washington, but what do you think about them? What's their strengths? Obviously, the guy in the middle, whose first name is great.
He's terrific. I mean, he is. He's got a complete skill set, but they've got a lot of other pieces. They've got speed. They've got a bunch of different guys that can score. They have size. I think Danny's done a really good job in a short period of time, and should be a good one.
I know sometimes you look at us like you can't figure out why we don't think that every game is going to be a battle, and then you see what Northwestern did last night at Ohio State. Is that just another example, like we always say to us guys, it's always, you never know?
I think now more than ever, Pat, in this league, we have 18 teams and a lot of the travel, but every team, I say this all the time, every team has really good players and a really good coach. And sometimes you know, in the past, you would look and say, well, they graduated 4 starters, they're probably going to take a dip. Well, now that doesn't have to be the case. You can just replace them with guys out of the portal and still have a veteran club. So I think you're seeing that a lot as well, not only in our league, but across the board.
I wanted to ask you about some of the leadership. Over the years, you've had, like, going back to Jared Cole and Eric May and guys like that, and then the J-Bo, Connor, Luca. Peyton has taken that role now. What have you seen from him as a leader this year that's really kind of stood out to you?
Well, it starts with what I've said to you before, that he came back specifically wanting to do that. He could, you know, be in the NBA right now. He came back. He obviously wanted to improve his draft position, but he wanted to lead this team. He loves this group. He's excited about playing with his brother. But I think he had great examples, so he knows how to lead and how to communicate. And, you know, he's done a terrific job because he's really kept this group together.
We're about to talk to Isaiah. What have your impressions been of him kind of behind the scenes, because we haven't really seen much since he got here?
I think it's difficult, but admirable, you know, to come, you know, mid-season, and, you know, we've been putting stuff in since June. You know, he gets here in the second semester. He's trying to figure out what we're doing in terms of plays that we're running, you know, defensive concepts, terminology, different from his high school, different from Miami. So he's working hard. He's also working hard on his game, and he's working hard in the weight room. I think that's every bit as important. Just to be around the guys, get to know them, watch how we do things, watch how we prepare, will really be beneficial to him when we, you know, start going. In June is when we'll start practice for him, but obviously we'll be doing a lot of stuff this spring as well.
Do you see things differently with recruiting today, that like a lot of programs are just like, hey, we're just portaling. We're just going portal?
Oh, there's a lot, yeah, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. You know, we still try, you know, it's not that we're not going to go into the portal. We will, we have, but we're still going to try to recruit high school kids that we get to know and we think are really good and have great potential.
Do you look much at the Big Ten tournament picture at this point, or is that just kind of on the back burner?
No, you know, we just look at the next game. That's pretty much how we've always done it. That hasn't changed.
Your kind of like recruiting pitches like differ than from a guy in the portal versus a guy at high school.
It's pretty similar. You know, I think you're discussing the same things. I mean, it doesn't change that much. I mean, portal guys want to see a path to immediate playing time, but you know, I think so do high school kids for that matter.
NIL plays such a big role today. With the house money, have you had communications with Beth Gatz about, you know, the portion you're going to be getting, and how's that going to impact your program?
Yeah, Beth and I talk about that all the time, and you know, she can give us some insight, but there's nothing set.
Yeah.
So you know, she doesn't want to say, okay, here's your number. We had a meeting, Zoom, with all the coaches in the league and our conference commissioner about all this stuff. Tony's been terrific. I mean, Tony and Beth have been great with trying to be as transparent as they can without having definitive answers, you know, concrete answers. You know, we think this is where it's going. And there's been a lot of movement, you know, as you guys well know, across college athletics with it's just a completely new structure, so as you can imagine, it's complicated. So we probably won't know officially until April 7th and then July 1. So that affects recruiting in the interim, both high school kids this year and portal guys this year. So in terms of knowing specific numbers, really don't. We have a general idea, and we're going to try to be as competitive as we can.
How do you feel about not having like those concrete numbers yet?
Well, I don't know that we're any different than anybody else. Some people have more money in the collective, coming out of the collective. I think Brad's doing a terrific job. He's doing the best he can. He's trying to help all of us. Football's a big part of that, rightfully so. So, we're doing the best we can with the amount of money that we have. Others have substantially more. We'll just deal with that as it comes.
How did Drew come out of the game the other night?
I didn't think he had his explosiveness. That's why I didn't play him as much. I mean, I really applaud that kid. He's worked extremely hard. He's tough. He wants it bad, and I want him out there. We need him. Josh never came out. They're going after Brock and Josh. Price. I mean, they've all been great. But it'd be nice to give those guys a little bit of rest and have another guy like Drew who's a little bit different. Another veteran guy who can get to the rim and make threes, create, and also defend.
Curious, no Riley on Wednesday?
What's that?
No Riley on Wednesday, he had the flu, was that?
He missed the last game because of the flu. He was fine Wednesday, he just didn't play.
So we're all from Muscatine, so we're obviously big Joe Wieskamp fans, and I was wondering what similarities
I'm a
you
Joe
see-
Wieskamp fan too.
What similarities you see between Joe and now Peyton Sanford? Because I feel like there's...
Well, they're similar in size. They're obviously terrific three-point shooters, but there's much more to their games than that. They're both competitive, tough guys that understand how to compete, can go on the road in a hostile environment and perform. Neither of them were mistake guys. They can handle the ball, they can pass the ball, they can shoot it. And they're known for their shooting, but they both rebounded extremely well at their position. I think that really helped Joe, in the NBA. When you looked at his numbers, his three-point numbers were off the charts, but he went to the glass and rebounded well. And I think both of them are going to be playing basketball for a long time.
Coach, I just want to say you're doing a phenomenal job all year. You've been here. I just want to let you know that. And I just want to say, what is your game plan for this week? What is your game plan for this week? And what do you guys think that you guys need to do on the defensive end to beat Washington?
Well, I appreciate your kind words. I think this week has been like every other week in terms of preparation. We're very, very diligent in putting a game plan together, what we think they're going to do, what we think they're particularly good at collectively, and what we think we need to do to stop them, what we think will work against them. And they're doing the same thing, for us. But they've got some size that we have to deal with. We had been playing a small lineup, so that might change some of our sub-rotations, things like that. Every team has a different offense, a different approach. So what we will try to do is get our guys ready for that, whether it be ball screen action, or maybe what they might do to us defensively with a zone or a different kind of defense. So we're working on that today.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.